Alright guys, getting this set up. We're going to check some audio here real quick. If it sounds good, Alan, let me know. And once everything's set up, we'll be live. Give us about a minute or a minute and a half or so. Alright, audio checks out. Where's that sound? I'm trying to turn my sound off. Audio checked out, so we're going to go ahead and kick this off, guys. We are live. Welcome to the stream if you're already tuned in. Chris Warden there with the first comment. Oh my gosh, dude, you and Walton Coin. How's that doing, by the way? I haven't really been tracking it. Okay, there we go. Now we're muted. Walton Coin. Why is this not loading? Oh, strong, man. That's strong. You're making some money. You're making some money. That's good. Anyways, so man, I did not. Crypto compare. All right, so it's been a while since we went live. We've really just been doing weekly live episodes, but now today here we are. I've been TDY. I've been out of the city for 6 weeks, so I'm glad to be back in my native environment. We've got the green screen working again and all that. I think, did I? Yeah, green screen is working. So this should be good. This should be good. But man, the market has been intense the last couple of days. I hope anyone checking in right now has either been hodling or you're just now buying, because I think we're about to make some pretty good money. So I apologize if I sound groggy or if I'm incoherent. I really haven't been sleeping over the past couple of days. I've just been trying to trade this stuff as actively as possible, and it's been paying off. It's been paying off. I'm at least in the green, even in our down market. Like, I'm in the green, and if we get back up to our previous highs, it's gonna be awesome. There's gonna be some sizable green. But anyways, there's been a lot of news, even through this sell-off that we've been experiencing. All the news has been positive, so that was pretty interesting to me. I mean, more and more governments across the world are embracing it, albeit regulating it, but embracing blockchain and cryptocurrencies. So I would say predominantly good news, but at the same time, the sell-off continued relentlessly. And there were quite a few reasons for it. I actually wrote an article on this earlier today. I'll go ahead and pull it up real quick. So yeah, pretty much the title says it all. There's a backlog of 280K frozen Bitcoin transactions. Let's see where that stands right now. So we're down to 260,000 now unconfirmed transactions. So basically what this boils down to, if you're trying to move Bitcoin, you're going to find that Bitcoin is not very agile at all right now. Unless you pay obscene fees to give your transaction a higher priority in the queue, then you're going to be waiting a very, very long time to complete your transactions. Miner fees right now are like $30 to $50, like to move your Bitcoin. $30 to $50. So I mean, imagine, it's not practical at all. It's not practical to really use Bitcoin for anything other than HODLing. So that's what I was talking about in this entire article. Bitcoin has lost some of its luster. It's lost, oh, we're about to hit 1,000 views. It's lost some of the things that have made it great in the past. I mean, when it was first created, it was supposed to be an epic microtransaction facilitator, peer-to-peer facilitator. Supposed to be quick and very, very cheap, but it's none of those things anymore. So as a result, I've basically turned my attention away from Bitcoin. It still has relevance in the market. the market has been following Bitcoin very closely. Um, I've been watching Litecoin and Ether pretty closely, and they've been trading almost perfectly in line with Bitcoin. I mean, now that the sell-off is pretty much over, I think Litecoin is it's well off of its low. I think it's recovered a little bit better than Bitcoin, and it makes sense. I think it's a better coin. Honestly, it has more to offer. The network is nimbler, and the fees are much cheaper. Here's a visual. If you haven't read this article, here's a quick little visual. There's your Ripple transaction. It costs a very small fraction of a penny. Then you have your Bitcoin Cash transactions. Garbage Bitcoin Cash. Get out of here. Litecoin 37 cents. That's pretty reasonable. It's pretty reasonable. And Litecoin has really seen some pretty strong adoption as of late. Steam just dumped Bitcoin, and they're going to be using Litecoin instead. We have what else? LightPay. So we have you have BitPay that allows you to spend your Bitcoin on the fly, and now there's LightPay that enables the exact same thing, except instead of for Bitcoin, for Litecoin. So it's pretty awesome to see these payment facilitators start to really embrace Litecoin, and I think that's why we've seen it on the rise comparatively, well, compared to Bitcoin, but obviously compared to the US dollar. It's been, before the pullback, it was skyrocketing. Then you have your Dash transaction, which Dash is an awesome currency. It's just a little bit more expensive right now. And I mean, I'll be honest, I stole this from a different site. I don't know where they got their data. But then you have your Bitcoin transaction, $28. It's higher than that now. I tried to make a transaction on Coinbase the other day just to verify some of these figures, and it was just over $30. Yeah, it was $30.40. I was trying to send like $5 worth of Bitcoin, and it was going to cost me over $30 to send it. So that's absolutely ridiculous, honestly. But if you haven't read this article, I think it's a pretty good read. Let's see what else we have here for news. It's almost like, where do we even get started? I mean, Crypto Panic has just been filled with headlines, very relevant headlines. Let's see. There was another country that legalized cryptocurrencies, and they're not taxing it for 5 years. I thought that was a pretty bold move. I'm trying to remember which country that was. I don't remember which country, but it was a recent headline. Anyways, so now I'm going to go ahead and turn your attention to, let's look at Burst real quick. It's really been blowing up lately. It's up 102% today. Pretty incredible. There you go. That says it all. So one of the guys that was working with, that we were working with, Crypto Answers, his name is Christian. He started to get into Burst, and basically what you can do using Burst is rent out your mining network essentially to other people, and there's a pretty interesting community behind it. But it sold off. It was incredibly cheap, and now it's been riding up with the wave, with the excitement. Oh wow! And let's turn that off and that on. Ooh, all right. Sorry about that, guys. We have not been showing the live feed at all. I apologize. Anyways, this is Burst we're looking at Burst, and it has been skyrocketing. So we've been following this on Crypto Answers at least, pretty much from day one. Since the day we built our site, we've been tracking it on the sites. These are more or less the coins that we see most important to the market, and Burst has always been one of them. It has a lot to offer the community. They had some, I forget what happened. Somebody screwed the pooch, and a lot of the community kind of drifted away. But it almost seems like they have repaired the damage, and they're starting to grow the community back, because the price is skyrocketing, and I don't know. It's worth watching. I'm not saying go out and buy it, but it's worth watching just to see what happens. Maybe buy it on a pullback. All right, what else we have for news? Let's see. Comments. Anything in YouTube? Oh wow, I'm surprised YouTube chat is blowing up. Usually it's Facebook that's blowing up. Okay, Terry Muskoff, thank you for throwing that out there. I wish I would have seen your comment a little sooner. I didn't realize that I wasn't showing the live feed there. Sorry about that, guys. I apologize. All right, cool. So that was it for questions. John McCollum says the fees are awful. I agree. I agree. The You can't really use it for anything other than hodling, like I said. So that's why I'm turning my attention to other coins. Right now, Ripple is my top pick. It's also my top holding. Um, and Litecoin's got to be number two because it has the second best network, essentially. Um, let's see here. News. Sorry, I'm going to be scatterbrained because like I already said, going on no sleep here. So if I'm even speaking proper English, that's impressive at this point. All right, so here we go. Bitcoin promoter, USI Tech hit with emergency order. So this is coming from the Texas State Securities Board. So this is I didn't realize the Texas State Securities Board had this wide of a reach, but they're going after USI Tech, which is based in Dubai actually, because it has been, well, they feel they've been manipulating its investors. They promised, 1% daily payout, and they make a lot of promises that long term they're probably not going to be able to fulfill. But along with that, they are, let's see, so they advertise it as a certified legal product in the USA per the Federal Trade Commission. I think that's what that is, FTC. So anyways, that's not true. It's not even true. So that's why the SSB is going after them, and essentially they've been issued a cease and desist order, and I think they're going to be shutting down. So now the question is, what happens to the investors? Are they going to lose the money? Is the money going to be refunded? What's going to happen ultimately? I'm not sure. But it's worth following. It's worth looking into, especially if you invest in USI Tech. I don't recommend that, by the way. That's not why I bring this up. I'm just throwing it out there because regulation is coming. We're seeing more and more regulation, and the governments around the world are starting to crack down on this kind of thing. No one in the crypto community really wants to see regulation, but this I think is necessary. This is necessary because it's not healthy for the community for these darker companies to be more or less taking advantage of the community. What we want is healthy growth, healthy adoption in the community, and so we want the strongest and best projects to survive and the others to not be there to take advantage. Let's see, I think we have some more comments coming in on YouTube. This is awesome, man. We never get comments on YouTube, but that's where all the action is today. I'm sure that's because our subscribers have been growing exponentially, which, by the way, thank you guys. Thank you so much for the tremendous support. I think this month we went from 60 subscribers to like 559. So that's incredible. It's mostly because of the tax videos that we've been making, and I mean it's that time of year. It's tax season. It's the end of December, so we're gonna have to be paying our taxes here pretty soon, and yeah, I'm not looking forward to that at all. But at least you guys know how to do it now. You know how to ensure that you're not going to be facing any kind of backlash from the IRS. In past years, I think it was only like 801 people paid any kind of taxes, reported any kind of gains to the IRS. And I mean, the IRS obviously is going to take notice when that happens, right? So now they're going to be looking carefully. They're going to be looking carefully at everyone who deals in cryptocurrency. So it's more important than ever now to mind your P's and Q's, pay your taxes, make sure you stay out of the regulatory eye there. Maximus K, he's asking, is Ripple going to go to $15 next year? I don't know about $15. If it did, let's go look at CoinMarketCap real quick. That would give it an absolutely asinine market cap. Well, I mean, there's like, what, 100 billion max supply for Ripple. So 100 billion times 10 would be $1 trillion. I mean, that's almost double the entire market cap. So it would have to swallow Bitcoin and everything else and then multiply by 2 for that to happen. And no, I'm sorry, I don't see that happening. I am incredibly bullish on Ripple. That's why it's my number one holding. But I think $15 is a little bit far-fetched. Now $2, absolutely. I could even see $2 by the end of the year. I mean, we have what, 9 days for that to happen? It's possible. It's possible. Um, it probably won't happen. It's already blown up from 20 cents to what is this? Just over $1. I think a buck 24 is the all-time high. Yeah, 123.9. Um, that's some pretty solid growth out of a coin that traditionally shows slow but steady and consistent growth, and it's blown up. So I don't know how much more of that we're going to see in the near future, but long term, very very solid. And if you've read any of my articles recently, I make mention of this in almost every single one. There's rumors that Coinbase is going to be adding more coins, right? I'm sure most of you tuning in have heard the same rumors. The question now is which coins are going to be adopted. There's a list on Reddit if you haven't looked into it. Um, I don't have a link to the article, and I'm not even sure what to search. I had issues finding the article the other day, but there is a column on Reddit where people have a list of like 20 different coins that they think are going to be added to Coinbase in 2018. So that I think really contributed to the massive growth that we saw in some of the altcoins over the past couple of weeks because um, everyone thinks their favorite coin is going to be added, or there's a possibility it's going to be added to Coinbase. And if that happens, it's going to be massive. We're going to see exponential growth just like we just saw for Bitcoin Cash. Now, it has sold off since then back to its normal level, but the same thing is going to happen. Whatever coin is picked up by Coinbase is going to explode. And I think that Ripple is probably the number one prospect for that. I'm basing this off of a couple of things. Number one, it was proposed in the rumor, but number two, it's just going back to the article. It has the lowest transaction fees. It has the um, very very quick transactions. I mean, it has more than 100 banks and financial institutions backing it. That network is growing. It's a solid project, and I don't know why they wouldn't add it. I mean, there are so many people that want to get their hands on Ripple. It's the number one volume mover for a reason. I'm pretty sure it's still number one. Oh wow, it's number two now. NXT actually overtook it, but it's neck and neck. Um, it's been the number one volume mover for days, and that is for good reason. Now there's actually a petition to get it added to. I linked it here somewhere. I thought. Did I not link it? Let's do this. Ripple Coinbase petition. So there you go. If you Google exactly what I did, Ripple Coinbase petition, the very first result is this right here, and you can actually input your name and your email and sign up, and then you can contribute your support, and you can be a voice in a voice of the people trying to get Ripple added to Coinbase. So right now there are 18,785 people that have signed up. So it looks like supporters are growing pretty steadily, and we're trying to get to 25,000. I don't know what that means. Like if we hit 25,000, if it's going to be added, I have no idea. But that's the goal. So, anyways, I think that's pretty interesting, and I think there's a decent chance that it could be added. I'm gonna quickly sidetrack here. We're now under 14,000 again for Bitcoin, selling off just a little bit. While we're on that topic, let's go ahead and look at some fundamentals for Bitcoin. Um, all right. So when I do technical analysis, everything I do is very very basic. I don't mess with Fibonacci, nothing complicated. I use moving averages and trend lines, and it is you would be shocked. You'd be shocked how accurate it is the majority of the time. So let's zoom in here. This was our first trend line support right here, right? So we sold off to it and we held that point for a while. If you would have bought in, you could have flipped it real quick. Obviously, we broke the support, and then we continued to sell off until once again we hit the support, and then we had a nice little bounce, right? So basically, what I've been doing over the past couple of days is I've just been playing, I've just been flipping Ripple. Okay, so Ripple's been trading pretty closely in line with Bitcoin over the past couple of days, and basically every time Bitcoin hits the trend line, I expect a pullback. There is a pullback. I buy Ripple, I sell it, quick flip, make some money. Um, so, anyways, it's been very accurate in identifying um, where Bitcoin is going to retrace. Now, obviously, this was our very first trend line. It was weak. We broke it. This was trend line number 2, and we broke that one as well. Now we have climbed back up though into this bearish channel. I've been watching this for a while. We ended up, I mean, we respected it there, but then we sold through it, and now we've climbed back up into it. So at this point, I think one of 3 things is going to happen. We're back below 14,000 now, so I think we're probably going to continue this sell-off back down to the trend line. After that, either I think there's a pretty good chance that we're still going to respect the trend line, and after that, I mean, we've already bounced a couple of times. If we respect it once more, we're probably going to at least visit the top of the channel here, and at that point, it's either going to break out or it's not. I mean, it's either going to break out or it's not. If not, then we could continue selling off, and if that happens in that event, I think that 10,000 is probably going to be our next support, only because I'm just psychological support, right? It's a nice round, even number. People are going to be like, $10,000 Bitcoin, that's half of what it was before. That's a pretty attractive price, right? So, but again, that support is going to be weak. If we get down to that level, it's going to be weak. My ultimate price target, the lowest I think we're really going to see is this right here. So this is where those 2 trend lines intersect, and that is at about $8,800, and it just so happens that they intersect almost at what was support back in the day from when we sold off from 11,000 and change. We bounced off that point, and it was upwards and onwards all the way to 20,000, and now I think this is going to be our absolute rock bottom sell-off if Bitcoin continues to sell off. But it's up in the air as of now. We're still right in the middle of this channel, and in order to break out, we really have to conquer about. We want to see about 16,000. I think if we see 16,000, then we've broken out. We're successfully probably going to move upwards and onwards. Curiously enough, the market cap is almost back to where it was. I think 650 was the highest. We're all the way back up to 550, but Bitcoin is lagging behind. Its dominance is down to 44%, and I think it's because of this. Short sellers are tearing it up. Frozen transactions. There are better coins out there. Really, it's only used for digital gold storage, or you know what I'm trying to say. It's digital gold, but really that's the only thing that it has going for it. And but really, I'm hoping that we sell off one more time. I still have some funds that I have free, just sitting there in Tether, just waiting for the right moment. But here we are back above 14,000, so sitting right at 14,000. Who knows? So yeah, that's my take. Man, I'm surprised we have no questions on Facebook. This is weird, actually. This is what we have on YouTube. So Megabase said, I thought that cease and desist order was against the guys promoting it because they didn't register with the states. Investors will be fine. It's just those guys that messed up. You'll always. Oh, interesting. Okay. I guess I hadn't read that article thoroughly enough. So now my understanding is investors will be fine. USI Tech will continue as it is, but those people might go to jail. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's my newfound understanding. Let's see here. Maximus says, thanks for the tax rules coverage. Very helpful when buying crypto other than Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Litecoin. Um, it's a pain keeping track of all the conversions. Yeah, I know it, man, it really is. The easiest way to do it is just set aside a certain amount of money. Like, hey, maybe you have 5,000 bucks that you want to invest. So do it, and then at the end of the year, just find out exactly what your total crypto holding is, and subtract the difference. So if you have 15,000 now, then really it doesn't matter what transactions you made in between. Well, actually, that's okay. So I got to back up there. If you don't sell off your coins, if you don't sell off your cryptocurrency, then obviously you haven't realized the profit. But let's say um, you sold $15,000 worth of cryptocurrency. You started with five, so that's a $10,000 profit. So you don't necessarily need to track every single microtransaction that you make, as long as you have a good ballpark of um, what your profit is. Now, I mean, obviously, if the IRS for whatever reason does come knocking at your door and they're looking for proof that yes, you made $10,000 in profit, they think you made more, but you have a handwritten ledger. You have every single transaction tracked, every single transaction that you've made. You can prove your exact profit or loss or whatever the case may be. That's best case scenario. Then you're covered 100%. You have complete and utter peace of mind. You never have to worry. So that's what I recommend, keeping that handwritten ledger. Um, but I'll be honest, I don't have that commitment. Like I don't have that discipline. So I know how much I put in. I know how much I'm going to be taking out, and I'll subtract the difference at the end of the year. Keith says, I'm new here. Can you explain bulls and bears? And he also asked if this is on Twitch too. And yes, it is. It's on Twitch. It's on Periscope. It's on Facebook, YouTube. We're streaming to like 5 different platforms right now via Restream. It's pretty cool little thing. But okay, so bulls and bears. A bull market is a money-making market, right? If you hear someone talk about bulls, the bulls are in control. That means the stock market is going up or the crypto market is going up. I think that term came from the stock market. And I've been in the stock market for years. I'm more or less newish to cryptocurrency. I have less experience in crypto than I do the stock market. But I think that those terms came from the stock market. So whenever you hear someone say that, oh, this news is bullish for the stock or it's bullish for the market, that means it has it should lend positive momentum to the market or to the coin or to the stock or whatever. So bullish is good as long as you have a long position. You want bullish things to happen. Now bearish, that's the exact opposite. If So let's say back September 1st, we set a new record, new all-time high for Bitcoin, $5,000 Bitcoin, and then it started selling off, right? And then I think it was the same day, all the China news hit the headlines, right? So China banned ICOs and China started shutting down a lot of their exchanges. And so that was incredibly bearish for the crypto market. And we ended up pulling back about 44% from the all-time high. So that was bearish news, meaning it caused negative momentum within the market and we sold off significantly. So if you hold cryptocurrency, you want bullish news. And if you're shorting cryptocurrency, then bearish news would be working in your favor. Let's see here. How will this slump affect things in the long run? Okay, good question. Good question. I meant to address that when I was talking about this initially, and I forgot. Guys, this is not a bad thing. This is a good thing. This is a healthy pullback. Pretty much anyone that's been hodling, like anyone that's they bought back in the day and they've been holding, they want to buy more, right? We pretty much just want to get rich. So, but no one wants to buy at $20,000. I mean, it's just nerve-wracking buying at the all-time high, right? So a lot of people were sitting on the sidelines just waiting, especially with futures being released. I think the consensus among the community was there's going to be a sell-off. Like there's going to be a sell-off. I forget the percentage of shorts against long positions, but it was actually pretty high. So that was foreshadowing essentially this sell-off, and so it was coming. But this is good. More people are going to get into the market as a result. I mean, there's a lot of people that would pay 11,000 or 13 or 14,000 for a Bitcoin, whereas they would not have paid 20. So I think we're going to see community growth, and that's good. That's bullish. That is bullish for crypto long term. So I'm glad to see that. And I mean, if we zoom out here, let's see if I can pull up like the one day. I mean, look at that. Isn't that ridiculous? I mean, that's straight up. Like that's 90 degrees straight up in the air, and it's not sustainable. That it just wasn't sustainable, and that's why now we've seen this. So this is good. This is good. Um, as long as we adhere to one of these long-term trend lines, then it's good. And I don't think we're going to end up selling off past the $8,800 mark, or th this support is right beneath that. It's going to be at about $8,000, it looks like, or maybe 75. But that should be a worst case scenario. So yeah, I'm happy to see the sell off, man. This A lot of people are making well. So it is sad. It is kind of sad because there are a lot of people that bought right here. I mean, I've seen Reddit threads, people saying, um, I I took out a second mortgage on my house to buy Bitcoin at $19,500, and that just makes me oh man, that's sad. Like I would hate to see someone lose their house because they bet it all on Bitcoin, and then they couldn't handle the volatility. You know what I mean? I think we're probably gonna see 20,000 again and probably set new highs, but will that person be willing to to make it through this? Will they have the resolve to be paying on the mortgage and losing their ass in the crypto market at the same time? And I just don't know. But at the same time, I will have made a lot of money, and I've been advising some of my friends along the way. Um, a lot of us are going to make a lot of money if we ever get back to the previous high. Right now, I'm already up because I don't know. I've just been, like I said, I haven't even been sleeping. All I've been doing is reading and researching and just watching and finding correlations between the different coins. And I'm just getting in and out quick, in and out, because I mean, if this is happening, you don't want to be going long. You do not want to be going long until you find support and you finally break out. That's when you initiate an actual long position. Until then, all I'm trying to do is get in and out quickly. I feel like I got off on a tangent there, but to answer your question, to sum that up, this is a good thing. We needed this. Um, we needed this. It's good. All right, what else we have going on here? All right, so yeah, Alan's backing me up there. Looks like the consensus in the chat is that the pullback we're seeing is healthy and that it is a good thing, and that is absolutely true. About one Litecoin at $68. We're selling some to get into some of the smaller coins. Um, I don't think so. Litecoin is probably my number two pick right now, right after Ripple. Um, it's been resilient. I mean, it's coming back. What was our low here? 182. We're up almost $100. We're up almost 50% off of. Actually, I guess we are up 50%. We were from the intraday low. So I mean, that's pretty incredible. And I still expect big things from Litecoin in the near future. Oh yeah, that reminds me. So this was a tweet that Charlie Lee made just a couple of days ago. So he said the Litecoin team has been hard at work working with companies to support Litecoin, and we've seen that in recent days. We've already seen announcements um, of more and more people adopting Litecoin as payment methods and stuff. But here's what they have planned for 2018, and this is going to be awesome. Merchant processor, popular online wallet, goods trading platform, and one huge unexpected surprise. So I'm curious what this is going to be. I mean, yeah, I'm curious what that's going to be. But Charlie Lee is incredibly active in the community. He's probably the most respected figure in the crypto space, aside from maybe Vitalik. I mean, everything Vitalik says is gold. That dude's solid. He is he is so incredibly intelligent, but he can express his thoughts like so well, and it's rare to find someone with that combination of talents. But so Charlie Lee, I would say, is number two. But so recently, he sold off all of his Litecoin. I don't know if you guys have heard about that, but that may have contributed to the sell-off. It may have, but here's the thing: that's not bearish. He explained himself. The reasoning behind it was not to take profits because he foresaw this pullback. I don't think he saw this coming. I really don't. What he claims, and I believe this, is that he's trying to separate himself from Roger Ver, right? So Roger Ver has a whole bunch of Bitcoin Cash, and he is really pushing hard to replace Bitcoin with Bitcoin Cash, which is another reason, another catalyst for the sell-off. But where's I going with that? Oh yeah, but like he's doing this just for personal gain. I feel like the he probably could even care less about Bitcoin Cash as long as he makes a ton of money. Charlie Lee, opposite end of that spectrum. He's not in it for the money. He's already wealthy. Like I don't know how many millions he made, or how many millions worth of profit he realized whenever he sold off his Litecoin, but I'm sure it was a lot. Now he didn't keep that money. He donated it to charity, which is also awesome. I really respect this guy. But so the reason I keep getting sidetracked here, the reason why he sold all of his Litecoin is because he doesn't want any conflict of interest, right? Whenever he comes out and makes these kind of announcements, he wants it. He wants the perception to be that he's just trying to be helpful. He's just trying to keep us aware, right? And that's what he's been doing. But now there will be no doubt in our mind that he has our best interest in mind, and I see only good things coming from Litecoin, guys. I really do. So yeah, I would not recommend selling Litecoin for other coins. I think most of the other altcoins are completely overvalued right now. I'm not touching the other altcoins. Um, the reason for that, a lot of the new money that has been entering the market is random people that have no idea what Bitcoin is. They have no idea what blockchain is. They don't know about the underlying technology, or the underlying technology. They don't know anything about it. All they know is they heard in the news that Bitcoin hit $20,000, and then they heard that it's been crashing, and now they're like, dude, it's time to get in. Like this is so perfect, and so they're buying in, but they they don't they don't think Bitcoin is capable of any more growth. What they do expect is to be able to buy Sia coin or Red coin for like 1 penny, and they expect it to go up to $100 or something. It's incredible. I don't. A lot of my friends don't understand the importance of weighing market cap versus coin price. So they see a coin that's like a penny, but they don't realize that there's like 500 billion of them in circulation. They don't understand that even though coin is 1 penny, it's still expensive. Like I try to tell them, 1 penny is expensive when it's the number. I'm referring to stellar lumens when I say this. I think it's at like what 12 cents or holy crap 24 cents. Yeah, I did not expect this. Like the number 13 spot for stellar lumens. I mean, it's incredibly expensive right now. It has almost a 5 billion or over $4 billion market cap, and it came out of nowhere. I don't know what's sustaining this. What's sustaining this is rumors that it's going to be added to Coinbase. People that don't want to buy Bitcoin at $20,000, but they'll be more than happy to buy stellar lumens at 20 cents. Even I don't know. Again, I'm getting off base here, but you got to keep in mind how many. So there's like 18 billion stellar lumens in circulation. That's a lot compared to 21 million Bitcoin. So even if stellar just blows up, we're just never going to get to $20,000 because there's so many more of them in circulation. It takes so much more buying pressure to move the ticker, to move the price. I have no idea how I even got talking about that. But let's go back to the Bitcoin price because look at this. We are selling back off. Let's see here. Let's pull up the 5-minute chart again. All right, so we're almost back at the very bottom. I don't want the 5-minute chart. I want the 30-minute chart. We're almost back at the bottom of the channel that I've been talking about. We're also almost back down to the medium-term support here at about $13,000. This is going to be a pretty telling moment. You're going to want to watch this carefully and see what happens. See if we bounce off of the 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 channel line here. If we do, then I mean this is a pretty bullish formation developing here. This is so assuming we bounce one more time, it's going to end up looking something like this, right? So we go up and down, and we hit the same high there, but so then our low is going to be higher than our previous low, right? And then it should, in theory, bounce again, and essentially the lows won't change, or the highs won't change, but the lows will get higher until we hit this line here, or we come to the end of the triangle, and then this is like a weak bullish indicator right here. This ascending triangle formation here, it's a weak bullish indicator. So more than likely, if the channel line holds and we continue to develop into the triangle here, then we should, in theory, break out and then at least visit the top of the channel there. So we'll just have to see. We're below 13.7 now and below $1 Ripple. I hope the sell-off continues, man. I'm going to go all in. I'm going to do it live. I'm going to buy as many Ripple as I possibly can if we find an attractive price. All right. I'm sure we have some questions coming in. Let's see what we have. Okay, Chuck Chaffin. Good question. Could you tell me how USDT works? So USDT is Tether, and it is a cryptocurrency that is tethered, it's appropriately named, right? Is tethered directly to the US dollar in a 1-to-1 ratio. So what that means is you can always trade one tether for one US dollar. And it's a very, very useful asset. Like as you can see right now, what I'm trading is Ripple versus Tether, right? So I hold Tether for safety because it's not volatile. It's pegged to the US dollar. So when I want to take risk off the market, I hold Tether. But it's nice because you don't have to take your money out of the exchange. I mean, you can't use fiat currency in Bittrex or any of the other exchanges that I use to actively trade. So Tether makes it possible to keep your money on the exchange, but have risk off the table at the same time. So I like it. I like Tether, and I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to talk about it. There's been a lot of worry about Tether and the lack of transparency. They have not released an audit for months and months and months. Meanwhile, millions and millions and millions, like we're well over 1 billion Tether in circulation right now. Let's see if I can find it. We have 1.25 billion Tether in circulation. So investors have started to lose a little bit of confidence. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy high for Tether right now. 104. Anyways, what was I saying? So investors started to lose confidence because they're like, dude, where's all this Tether coming from? We need proof that you actually have $1.25 billion worth of US dollars in escrow. You have to have one US dollar for every Tether that you issue. Otherwise, this whole system is going to collapse. Because what happens if this sell-off continues? We sell. Now everyone's trying to get into Tether. So let's say the market completely implodes, and not only have people sold all the Bitcoin and Ripple and everything into Tether, now they want to cash out. They want out of crypto entirely. So they go to Tether, the company. It is a company. And they say, all right, I want my US dollar. Here's my Tether. Then, so they start giving out US dollars, but maybe they run out because they don't actually have one US dollar for each Tether. If that happens, well, then they're bankrupt. I mean, and that means a lot of people are holding Tether that's completely worthless because now no one's going to give them anything for it because that promise, the promise of the tether company giving you $1 for every tether that they issue is no longer there. However, back to the story. So apparently we're in the middle of an audit. They're working with, who are they working with? Friedman LLP. I haven't done any research on them. I don't know who that is, but they're in the process of working out an audit. They've been in the process since September 30th of this year. Apparently it's a lengthy process. I don't know what's taking so freaking long. What, October, September, October, November, December. There you go. It's been almost 3 months, and we still haven't received any word here. But at least they're doing what they can to keep us updated. The audit is in progress. Hopefully, we will be reassured of their funds here very soon. But who knows? So Tether was hacked not very long ago. This they talked about it briefly here. It was hacked, and I think $30 million was stolen from the Tether wallet. But they did a pretty good job of tracking that Tether and making sure that whoever stole it wasn't able to use it. And ultimately, I think they took it off the markets and made it worthless to where it nullified the hack, if I remember correctly. So that's pretty cool. I think they handled it pretty well. So now all we're waiting for is this audit to come through, and then all of the fears surrounding Tether will be put to rest. Good question. Good question. All right, let's see what else we have. Hey, Ryan Piper just checked in. What's up, man? That's my brother. In case anybody was wondering. Coolest dude in the entire world. Love him to death. Anyways. Jen Love says, time to buy a Ripple before it hits $2. Ripple at $5 in 2018. Yeah, I think we're going to see $2 here pretty soon. $5 in 2018 is not even far-fetched at this point. We're going to see a lot of good things coming from Ripple, and I am very excited about that. Ripple at $100 in a year. Yeah, I don't know about that. I think that's a little extreme. $100 Ripple means 100 billion times 100, which is that's $10 trillion. There's no way. That's like 10% of the entire, all the money in existence in the entire world. That's 10% of all of it. That's not gonna happen. I'm sorry. But where was I going with that? Ripple. Oh, so yeah, I can't believe I did not mention this earlier. I didn't even put this in the article that I wrote earlier today. But Ripple recently put 55 billion Ripple in escrow, and it's going to be released back into active circulation, 1 billion Ripple per month, each month for 55 months. So it's going to take, what's that, like 4.5 years for all that Ripple to be put back in circulation. So what does this mean? Well, it's bullish. It's very, very, very bullish for the price of Ripple, and I think that has contributed massively to the uptick in the price recently. I mean, obviously, most anyone tuning in right now should understand the principle of supply and demand, right? They've just taken more than half of the entire max supply of Ripple off the market, and demand skyrocketed. It's only natural. It was obviously going to happen. So I was very, very, very happy to see them do that. Another reason why I'm very bullish on Ripple. Tell me some good news, my crypto brothers. Mike Serrano asked that question. We've been talking, I mean, there's been nothing but good news, man. We've been talking about it all night. Bulbul Ahmed says, what to know about future of currency or list of price in last 2018? So I think you're wanting to hear some projections of prices, what we're foreseeing in 2018, and I don't know, man. I know I've already been kind of doing that throughout the stream, but I really shouldn't. I'm not an investment professional, so take everything that I've been saying with a grain of salt. I'm not 100% spot on all the time, and I really shouldn't be giving you my projection. But here's what I will say: we've sold off significantly. I don't think that's going to last forever. I think we are going to run right back up to previous highs. Maybe not Bitcoin, I don't know, but the market cap overall is going to soar. Our market cap right now, 550 billion. Let's refresh, get a live price. All right, 544 billion. That's just a very, very, very small taste of all the money that is in circulation in the world. and more of it has been pouring into the crypto market from other markets, and that's what's been driving up the price. But we're just beginning, really. Um, I can't really comment or speculate on individual coins, though. All right. Mike Serrano says he's in the green. That's good, man. Making money. Let's see here. All right, Alan got you with the Twitter link. Charlie Lee sold all his Litecoin. Yes, that was bad news. That comment came from Jen Love. So yes and no. I mean, I think the market received it as bad news, but I don't think it was bad news. I think it was a good play on his part. I think he did it for good reasons. And since we've already sustained that, however much Litecoin he sold, I'm not sure how many coins that was, but we've already sustained that, meaning we don't have that possible, like he can't sell it again, right? So we don't have that threat. Um, but he did it for good reasons. He did it for noble reasons. He did it to eliminate conflict of interest. I'm behind him 100%. Wasn't the surprise Steam? No, I don't think so because the Steam announcement came like a week or so before he made that announcement. So I think it's something else, something probably even better. Um, who knows? I don't know. Jason White, coincidence? I don't know what. That's vague. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm very excited for 2018, says Mike Serrano. Hell yeah, dude, me too. It's going to be awesome. A lot of these, if you've been following the roadmaps of some of these newer coins, they have a lot lined up for 2018. So I'm very excited to see if they can live up to everything that they're projecting. If so, then dude, we're going to see stuff blow up. But if not, whew, there could be a massive, massive sell-off. If these companies, um, if we start to see like a lot of companies not able to meet any of their projections, then I think the consensus among the community will be that these companies just did ICOs to take in all this money and they're not actually delivering the product that they were promising. So that could be really bad, and we'd probably see another massive market sell-off. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think a lot of these coins have solid development teams. We've released videos on it. We've done some of the research. There are some very good teams out there, and I think they will be delivering on their promises. And 2018 should be solid. I find most people want to buy Bitcoin. I tell them no. That train came and went. You're late. Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I don't know. It still has digital gold, that whole thing going for it, and there's still a lot of hodlers out there. There are a lot of hodlers, Bitcoin hodlers. But I don't know. I'm slowly losing faith in Bitcoin myself. I really am. I'm not saying it's not going to go back up and set new highs, but I think it will be outpaced by Litecoin, Ripple, Ethereum. There are better coins, better technologies out there. So, let's see. Okay, so this is a good question. Keith Kasprick. I'm curious if that's a Ukrainian name. It sounds Ukrainian. The only reason I ask is because I've been seeing a lot of stuff about Ukraine in the headlines, and there's this Ukrainian female YouTuber, beautiful, attractive voice. That's why I follow her. But anyways, she's from Ukraine, and I don't know. I've just been a lot of my attention has been on Ukraine lately. But anyways, good question. He asked, considering Bitcoin has a 21 million max supply and Litecoin has 84 million, is it safe to assume that Litecoin should be 1/4 of Bitcoin? No, it's not that easy. You have to take everything into consideration, meaning, I mean, look at the ecosystem that is built around Bitcoin. Um, every program that is out there, even like back to our USI tech, even like BitConnect, all that stuff. Like there's all these micro ecosystems that are built around Bitcoin. Like their whole system revolves around Bitcoin. Any exchange you go to has a Bitcoin trading pair. You can trade Bitcoin for absolutely freaking anything. Um, because of that, Bitcoin is the most mainstream. It has the most attention, the most media attention. It was the very first coin on the market. It has a household name. There are still a lot of things going for Bitcoin. Um, mostly the surrounding ecosystem, right? So Litecoin, it does not have the same ecosystem. You can't use it for as many things. I don't think it's hard to find a Litecoin trading pair. Like it's hard to just buy Litecoin on Coinbase, send it to an exchange, and trade that Litecoin directly into some random altcoin. You can't go buy Substratum with Litecoin. You have to have usually Tether, Ethereum, or Bitcoin, one of the three, to do that. So there's we still need a little bit more warm embrace from the community to send Litecoin up. Um, what am I trying to say? We could start to see the ratio between Litecoin and Bitcoin coming closer to that 1 to 4. If you know what? Okay, so Charlie Lee said there's a big surprise announcement coming in 2018. I wonder if it's going to be Litecoin trading pairs. I just now thought of that. That would be amazing. Like, imagine being able to trade your Litecoin for any altcoin out there. That would be huge. That would be huge. Like overnight, there would just be a ginormous ecosystem built around Litecoin now. That would be huge. Now I'm hoping that happens. Um, but yeah, so you got to take everything into consideration. It's not that simple. But I mean, in theory, I guess yes. To answer your question, in theory, Ripple will be 100 in a year. Gut feeling. I was right about Litecoin projections were only to 200 by 28. What? $100? I don't know. Again, far fetched. Alan says we're going to see half a million dollar Bitcoin in 5 years. Maybe we'll see. HODL and find out. Some dude whose name I cannot pronounce said, "What about Bitcoin? Will it be down in 2018?" I don't think it'll be down. I just think it'll be outpaced by some of the other coins, or most of the other coins. Jen Love, frustrated about Bitfinex not allowing new users. Yeah, same thing with Bittrex. There's just been so much excitement around Bitcoin and crypto the last couple of days. Millions and millions of people have been pouring into the market, pouring into the ecosystem. I'm excited about that, guys. That is awesome. A lot of people that had no idea what Bitcoin was or had no faith in it just a couple of weeks ago, now they're in. Now they're invested. So that's pretty cool. Louis Colin says the market looks bearish AF. I'm trying not to cuss on the live stream, but yes, it does. It does. I think we're going to continue to see a little more of a sell-off. Let's look back. So pretty much no volatility since we last checked. Still holding steady in the middle of this channel. So I think we're going to continue to sell off. I think you're right. We'll just have to wait and see. Louis Colin, rising wedge structure in many coins. Bounce is weaker than the dip. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was talking about. Hey, Justin Bashad checked in. That's awesome. That's one of my friends from back in the day. I used to work with him back in Florida. First time I've seen him in the live stream. So welcome, dude. That's awesome. Louis Colin says there's literally a double top and nothing else. Calling that a bearish triangle is random speculation. What I said is if this continues to develop, then it's an ascending triangle. So yeah, it's not solidified yet, but I think this is the beginnings. All right, it could be. I could be wrong. I don't claim to be right all of the time. Anyways, moving on. Does buying Bitcoin Cash worth it in the future? I will never touch Bitcoin Cash on principle. I hate Roger Ver. I hate Bitcoin Cash. I hope Roger chokes on a freaking dick. But I'm not going to buy Bitcoin Cash on principle. Whether or not you can make money, I don't know. I don't do technical analysis. I don't really follow the development. I don't know. So clearly I'm biased, but I don't know. I don't recommend it. Let's see here. Tether isn't always one-to-one. That comment came from Josh Romo. Well, yeah, like right now it's trading for $1.03. And if we look at the chart here, so this was back when, what happened? I think this was when Tether was hacked, right? 31 million Tether were stolen. And that was when the fear about no audit, no transparency was still real. And so people were starting to freak out, right? Like, is Tether going to implode? So it sold off. I mean, if we see ultra intense selling pressure, then sure, it's it'll sell off, or if there's massive buying pressure for Tether, if people are fleeing Bitcoin because there's a sell-off coming, sure, we might see $1.05 for Tether. But at the end of the day, it's going to equal out back to $1. So it trades pretty closely to $1. Jen Love, the holidays driving people to sell everything. Yeah, I think that is contributing. Um, I think that is contributing. But there's a lot more to it than that. It's Bitcoin Cash, it's the holidays, it's futures, it's the 300,000 unconfirmed Bitcoin transactions, 30, $40 Bitcoin miner fees. It's just getting ridiculous. Let's see here. I want to know your idea about most good future in 2018. So my number one pick is Ripple. I don't think you're going to get rich overnight with Ripple. You're not going to triple your money overnight like you could with some other altcoin if you get lucky. But what we're going to see from Ripple is sustainable growth. So that's really all I'm looking for. I want two things: not to lose money and make money. Those are the two things I want to do. You can do those two things with Ripple, in my humble opinion. It's just not going to be crazy exponential growth. Mike Serrano, I don't know how old that question was. I'm way behind on the comments, which is awesome, guys. Keep them coming. This is it makes the stream a lot more interesting. But I think I already explained that, so I'm gonna go ahead and move on. Um, I'm gonna just skip through some of these questions because there's so many. I'm way behind. What are your thoughts on WGR? I think it's a pump and dump. I don't know what that is. Wager. Yep, never heard of it. Realistically, most of the coins right now I think have been pumped to unrealistic levels, but that's the bear in me talking. Why is this webpage not loading? Alright, it's taking too long. Moving on. Ripple will be added to Coinbase in 2018. That is the rumor. That is the rumor, and I think there is some basis to it. I think there's some basis to it. Wow, wager. This is, considering the massive trading volume we've seen on the market overall, this is nothing. $250,000 over the past 24 hours. That's pretty weak. So Pistachio Coffee is saying he doubts, he or she, oh, it's a he doubts that Ripple is going to be added to Coinbase in 2018. I don't know. It can still go either way. I'm feeling pretty fairly certain that it will be added, just because of the petition and there's so much support in the community, so much demand for it to be added to Coinbase. I hope it gets added, but maybe not. Whoa, this is interesting. Jin Love is dropping names. Who is CPINVAEE? Who apparently they said Ripple will be added in 2018. I don't know if that's a Reddit user. I have no idea, but I would be interested to find out who that is and if it's a reliable source. Twitch channel. I don't even know. Alan, if you can provide that, I have no idea what our Twitch channel is. Munir Nathu asked a question. Hey, when do you normally go live? It just depends. Usually it's evenings. The day is pretty random. Ideally, we like to go live on weekends, but the stars just kind of aligned today, so now we're live. Alan works during the day, so that's why evenings are usually ideal. That's when we usually go live. So yeah, usually weekends and evenings, but it does kind of vary. When will the best time to buy back into the market, and is the worst over? Not sure. Not sure. Like I said, we're still in this downward channel here. We sold off below it, we climbed back up into it, and really anything could happen. We need to hit about 16,000 before we truly break out of it. So I'm not sure. I'm hoping for a little bit more of a sell-off down to maybe 8,800 or so down to here. That would be amazing. But really, there's no way to know. Not sure. Let's see. Charlie to launch new ICO soon. That comment came from Gary Ryan. Interesting. I had not heard that. If you have a source, throw it out there. I'd be interested to look into that. Um, but that doesn't make sense. I don't know why. I mean, he says he's deeply committed to Litecoin still, and I think he is. I mean, I don't know why he would. If he's going to still be working on Litecoin, I don't know why he would want a second project. That doesn't make sense to me, but maybe. Let's see. Coincidence? Charlie Lee sold his coin before the correction. Ah, that's what you're asking. Okay, I'm sorry. I think it actually is a coincidence. I trust him. He says that's not why he sold. He said it was to avoid the whole conflict of interest thing. I trust him. He has enough respect from the community. He has my respect that I trust him. Um, I guess I don't know for sure, but I do trust him. I think it is just a coincidence. There's some advertising. Come on, man. Can I know which is easiest and reliable broker to buy cryptocurrency stocks? Well, I wouldn't really call them stocks. I would either call them coins or tokens. But so maybe you're wanting to get in on the futures. So the New York Stock Exchange is going to be releasing some ETFs here pretty soon. I think I was going to talk about that. Let's see here. Yeah, here's an article from Cointelegraph. NYSE files to bring Bitcoin ETFs closer to reality. So yeah, going to be bringing some ETFs to the scene. The CME Group and CBOE, they've already launched futures. They're live. That's part of the reason for the pullback, I'm pretty sure. But I would look into those two, CME and CBOE, if you want to get into futures, ETFs, whatever. You know what? No, never mind. I'm not going to do that. Yep. But okay, so easiest and reliable broker, I don't know. I've never used either of those. I don't plan on trading futures ever. Um, I like writing out a long position because I'm very bullish on crypto over the long term. I think even if Bitcoin sells off to $8,800, which I think is going to be the lowest, even if it sells off below that, eventually we're going to come back from it. So long term, I'm bullish. But where was I going with that? Oh, so I'm not going to short it. I think that's a good way to get caught with your pants down. I don't plan on ever shorting any cryptocurrencies, just straight long positions for me. Right. I think Bitcoin and Dogecoin will be $1 in 2018. I don't know about that. They both have kind of questionable communities surrounding them. Actually, I'll take that back. Bitcoin, kind of questionable community. Dogecoin, I actually like that community. It's just, I want to say initially Dogecoin was released kind of as a joke, right? Um, but the community has actually developed it into an interesting coin. I have a small Dogecoin position. I think I have like 25,000 Dogecoin. It cost me like $100 back in the day, and I'm just holding it in case it does ever get up to $1. Then I'll sell it, you know. But I'm not really overly bullish that that'll happen. Maybe we'll see. Now, I mean, as more and more new people get into the market and they have a tendency to seek out the very, very cheap coins, Dogecoin does look very attractive from that aspect. So maybe all this new virgin money could push the price of Dogecoin and all the other very, very cheap coins up to unrealistic prices. Sure, it could happen, but I don't think that it has that much value. Is it true Litecoin is launching an ICO? That's the second or third time it's been mentioned in the chat. I haven't heard that. I don't think so. I don't know. What about DCB coin, Electronium? I don't know anything about DCB coin. Never heard of it. I expected this. I expected a lot of questions about. So DCB coin is not even tracked on CoinMarketCap. I don't know anything about it. I'm sorry. Electronium. Electronium has just been hyped too much for my taste. I've been seeing advertisements on all over Facebook. I've been seeing stuff all over Reddit. I can barely even look through CryptoPanic without seeing someone say something about Electronium, and it's got on my nerves, frankly. Um, so because of that, I've been ignoring it. Um, I don't know. I've been ignoring it because it got on my nerves. Oh, Polish. Your name is Polish. Awesome. Very cool. Um, I used to work with a guy that was Polish and really cool dude. So very cool. Why are you so high on Litecoin of its limited? Um, I think what you're trying to ask is why is it one of my top choices? And it's just because of um, all of the positive things that are happening behind the scenes. We're seeing more adoption. The ecosystem is growing. Um, it has some advantages over Bitcoin in that the transactions, it's more nimble. Transactions are cheaper and quicker. And I just really like Litecoin. Why is there such a big difference in the prices from Coinbase versus Binance? All right, so this is a pretty common question that we've had before. The reason is the network that is backed up. Let me see if I can find that link again. All right, I'm not going to try to find the link. I lost it. But what I will do is, this is the article I wrote on it today. A couple hours back, there were 280,000 unconfirmed Bitcoin transactions. So what that means is, unless you're willing to pay an abnormally high fee to give your transaction priority so that the miners prioritize your transaction, you can't really, it takes a while to send your Bitcoin between the exchanges. So while there is an opportunity to, buy your coins somewhere else, sell them higher on Coinbase, you have to pay fees to do it, and your money is locked up for quite a while in the interim. So I think that's why the price difference is sustained. People can't just easily migrate their funds between the exchanges. So what about Digibyte? I don't know enough about it to comment. Gary Ryan says, what about the Lightning Network? Um, Supposedly the Lightning Network is going to be rolled out here soon. Now they've been saying that for years, but I've been reading some articles suggesting that it's undergoing testing on the test net, and we've seen positive results. It's actually working. So hopefully mid 2018 is what I'm hoping for the Lightning Network, and I can only imagine what that's going to do to the market. Should be pretty bullish. What do you think about NXT or Igneous? Man, I wish I would have looked into NXT back in the day because it's been blowing up. I mean, it's the number one volume mover right now. 23,000 Bitcoin worth of traded hands just on Bittrex alone. But again, I don't know enough to comment really. I've never looked into it, which is dumb. I need to look into it. Can you let us know about Ripple, XRM, and Digibytes? So yeah, like I said, I don't know much about Digibytes. XRM, what is that? I don't know what XRM is. Ripple, huge believer, very, very bullish. Um, I have Ripple position myself. It's backed by 100 plus banks and financial institutions. That network continues to grow. There's 100 billion max supply of Ripple, but they just put 55 billion of that in escrow. So all of that is just taken off the market. So demand is reduced. I'm sorry, supply is reduced, so demand is skyrocketing as a result. A lot of good things in the works for Ripple. Where can you buy Ripple? So I recommend, well, I use Bittrex for most everything, mostly because I'm used to it at this point. I've been using it for months, and it has a very, very user-friendly interface. It has very reasonable fees. You only pay about 0.25% per transaction, and withdrawals are free. If if you don't like Bittrex for whatever reason, then my recommendation would be Binance. Really, those are the only two exchanges I use other than Coinbase. I like Binance because the fees are incredibly cheap. You pay 0.005%, I think it is. Um, Here, you know what? Let me just verify that. And then I'm also going to hold on, find my referral link. I'll just throw it in the chat just for good measure in case somebody wants to sign up for Binance. There's my referral link. I thought it said something about the fees on this page. Anyways, it's like 1/5 of what Bittrex charges for the fees. Very, very cheap. No! No way. No way. So I just ended the Facebook live stream. We're still live on Facebook, or I'm sorry, on YouTube and everywhere else, but I just terminated. I cannot believe that I did that. I cannot believe that I did that. All right, so let's check out the YouTube comments because we're still live on YouTube but not Facebook. All right, James Ritz. Man, I'm way behind on the questions. Oh, for sure. There should always be a dip, but I don't think it will be as big. Man, I wonder if I can get this Facebook stream back up and running. Dunskies. Let's go live again. Man, I cannot believe I did that. Dude, I killed it. I completely killed it. I cannot believe that. All right, looks like we're live on YouTube only. I'm probably gonna wrap this up. That was stupid. That was stupid. Oh wow, interesting. James Ritt says there's talks of Litecoin linking up with Facebook. Just hints and talks. Very, very interesting. Maybe that could be the big announcement he's talking about, or maybe fake news. You're right. Maybe fake news. Who knows? Let's see here. I think slow and steady on ADA. Bitcoin is going to be boring for a while. Yeah, I think you're probably right about that. Anyone know anything about Electroneum? I've been ignoring it. Yeah, Neo's a pretty solid long-term play. Verge, I think it's pretty solid too. We made a video on that. I love Verge, I really do, but it's been exploding unrealistically recently, and I can't. I don't feel comfortable buying in at this point. I think it's fairly expensive now. It's like what, number 19 overall or something, overall market cap. Pretty expensive. Oh man, I'm way behind on these questions. My friend is in BitConnect for 100,000. I told him to get out after. Wow, that's crazy. That's risky. That's ballsy. Hopefully it lasts for his sake. Let's see, what else? All right, so let's see. So Munir said a daily update would be awesome to help make decisions. We're actually trying to develop a platform for that. We have a lot of things in the works. We're developing a lot of different things for Crypto Answers, some other websites. We're trying to build a news aggregation website, and we also would like to release a website that allows us to basically go live and share our trading tips. For now, we're doing it through YouTube, we're doing it through Facebook, stuff like that. But setting up our own website would be ideal. So more to follow on that. All right, what's going on? Munir asked another question. What are your thoughts on Lisk? So it's supposed to be something kind of similar to Ethereum. I know a lot of people are bullish on it. I don't know enough to give you like a really good opinion. but I don't know. I'm not going to BS you. I don't know much about it, unfortunately. But all right, so I screwed up. I terminated the Facebook live stream. Again, I apologize, but because I pretty much crashed this whole stream, I think I'm going to go ahead and end it. It's midnight, anyways. It's midnight. I'm getting tired. And I'm losing my voice. So thank you, everyone, so much for tuning in. I'm sorry I crashed the live stream there at the very end. I'm very, very sorry. But thanks for your support. Thank you for your excellent questions. I always look forward to those, and I enjoy answering them. For those of you that I was unable to answer your question due to time or backlogged questions or just not even having the awareness of whatever you're asking about, I'm sorry, but maybe that can answer your question in and of itself. Like if I have no idea, then maybe it's not a mainstream thing. Anyways, gonna go and wrap this up. Thanks again for tuning in. Stay tuned for the next one, and peace out.